Hello, welcome back to National Education Cycle. I'm going to be your FASI again, Alex, and for this session, we're going to be talking about program details for oGTa and oGTe, but actually more for VPs and coordinators since I went over it in the TM cycle, but this was going to go into more detail and more for a VP and coordinator's perspective. So again, details of oGTa, that's going to be the thing we're going to talk about first. Then what is the business model and the business model for oGTa and oGTe and why it's important. So I'm not going to go over the details because, as I mentioned, it was already mentioned in the TM's neck. So if you want to learn about it or you forgot it, just click this little screen here and it'll bring you to it. So what is a business model? So essentially, a business model is designed for successful operation of a business, identifying revenue sources, customer base, products, and details of financing. A business model canvas is a strategic management and lean startup template for developing new or documenting existing business models. It is a visual chart with elements describing a firm's or product's value proposition, infrastructure, customers, and finances. If you're not familiar with business model canvas concept, just go on Google and search it. There are like so many videos explaining it, but essentially a business model is, let's say I have my own startup, I have my own company. A business model, it explains in very short what the company is about, what the business is about, and this actually business model is actually used in the world of business, and it's very important, especially for investors when they want to invest in a business or a company. They need to understand the business model, and the best way to understand a business model is through the business model canvas, as you can see here. There's, of course, I can go into detail about it, how to create a canvas, the steps in creating a canvas, which section to fill in first. But as you can see here, here's just a brief information about it. And as you can see here are the most important things: revenue streams, cost structure, customers, so the kind of customers they have, the value proposition, customer segments, channels, so how are we contacting them, key activities we're doing, our partners, resources, etc. And so now that we know a little bit about it, because I can talk so much about it, but I think if you really want to learn more, you can do it yourself. But now we're going to go over the business model for oGTa and oGTe. So first, it's very important that you have to follow the color code to understand the business model. Youth and opportunity providers are separated in colors below. So youth is this little Turkish color and opportunity provider is blue. And common elements is a mix of them both. In the business model, anything written in bold cannot be changed by MCs and LCs unless the global compendium is changed. However, anything written in italic underlined can be customized by MCs. So I personally, as a Poland, will not be customizing anything from the global one. But let's say if there's something that you feel like could be changed, just approach me. And of course, that's italic underlined. If you feel like it should be changed, let me know and we can customize it if we can, of course. So yeah, here is the business model that you have for oGTa. I'm not going to go over it. You can go over it yourself, but this is something that we have, and it really goes into detail about it. And this is something that we would present to, let's say, since we're not-for-profit, of course, we want to, but let's say this is something we would present to investors, to other people, and explaining our business model so they can get a clear understanding of how our business works. And this is a great way to show it. So this is how oGTe works, the business model for oGTe. And oGTe, same way, the color scheme's a little bit different, but this is how it looks for oGTe. Okay, very simple, and it's just a matter of just, if you like, you can read it, and it's really interesting to know, and something that very helpful in actually your life in the future, not only in Isaac. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned something cool.